Hello, and welcome to episode 21 of By Night, the series where I'll be covering every night and 24-hour bus route within Greater London. And you join me at Ladbroke Grove, just outside the Sainsbury's, which has a sort of little bus interchange outside, which is very nice. There's a metro decker coming in, presumably off of a 295, which, funnily enough, happens to be the route that we're starting on tonight. So, yes, the plan for tonight is we're going to get the 295 all the way down to Clapham Junction. Then we're going to get the the N19 up to Tottenham Court Road. Then pop over to Lower Clapton on the N242. Go around the inner suburbs to Camden on the N253, which is a very weird route, which I'll explain more when we get to. Then down to Angel on the 214, which is a route that I absolutely love, before finishing off by doing a full run on the N277 from Angel all the way down to Crossharbour on the Isle of Dogs. So, yeah, I'm now at Ladbroke Grove, and I don't know what I've got on my 295, because it's been fairly inconsistent today. There's been Evo Setties, BYD Enviros, there's been Metro Deckers, but that says Clapham on the front, and it's a Metro Decker, so I might have a Metro Decker. And seeing as it's arriving on stand, even though it's not going for another 8 minutes, I'm probably going to head over to stand. So, very brief intro, I'll see you on the N295. And indeed, you join me on First Bus London's 39594 on the 295. This is one of First Bus London's Evo Setties that they got from their acquisition of RATP London, and ultimately this, as you can see from the green interior, came from Tower Transit, who swallowed up a bunch of First Centre West operations from the first time First operated in London. So the 295, I've not done my research. I should probably check where it goes. I've done my research now. The 295 runs from here at Ladbroke Grove Sainsbury's all the way down to Clapham Junction, via Shepherd's Bush, Ladbroke Grove, no, that's where we are now, Shepherd's Bush, Hammersmith and Fulham Broadway. There, that is just past us there is Metro Line's VWH 2430 on a 52, probably to Victoria. I couldn't quite see the destination blind because it was, passing me from behind. But anywho, we have a Metro Decker EV. Now these are not that common, like at all. They're most common in London, but even then, Metro Line have a few, a good number actually, because they used to make up the full allocation of the 134. First have a decent number of these, but they're split between the 295 and the 23, and they can't really do a full allocation of either of those routes with them. And Go Ahead used to have a bunch that did the 200, but there were some fires involving them, and so they've been withdrawn. And Metro Line are also withdrawing theirs prematurely. I don't know quite why. It might be for reliability, I don't know. But by the sounds of things, we're about to go, I think. Anywho, if we are, I better stop recording so I can film. and I've now made it to Clapham Junction. There's something going on nearer to the station, so I've been dropped outside of the Northcote rather than the Falcon, and I've just gotten a bit lost, so I'm gonna find my way over to where the N19 goes, but I think I'm headed the right way now. There's a 77 and there's a 49. I think they're probably some of the last ones of the night, seeing it's almost 1 AM. And yeah, so I've got about 17 minutes until my N19 goes, so that's not too bad. Gives me time to get lost again, trying to find where the N19 will actually start. When I'm done recording this clip, I'm going to check bus times, because I'm actually on the second N19 of the night, so I can see where the first one went. That's not how I planned it, that's just how it's worked out. So yeah, I'll see you on the N19. Right, so we've run into a bit of a snag, which isn't good given that this is a 6-route plan. I've walked into somewhere where I can't be seen, and hang on, let me clean my lens, that's awfully fuzzy. Yeah, so, bit of a snag in that Falcon Road is closed, I knew this. I got to the start stop for the N19 and checked what the timetable stack had to say about the diversion. And the timetable stack said the stop C was going to be open for the N19. So I waited there. And it got to 1:15 and I checked bus times. And the 0110 from Clapham Junction had in fact started at Bullen Street, which is like up on Battersea High Street, rather than starting at Clapham Junction and doing the diversion. So yeah, that's not fun, and so I'm going to walk up to Bullen Street and get onto the next N19 there, which should be the 0140 something. However, as much as this is a 6-route plan, and therefore requires things to go a little bit better than my usual 5-route episodes, the N277 runs mercifully late. The last one from Angel is 0540, and if everything went well, I had made the 0110 N19, I would have ended up making the 0440 N277. So right now I'm only half an hour down, so I have a buffer of 1 N277 from Angel left anyway. So if nothing else goes horrendously wrong, we should still be fine. Right, so after all that, I have now made LT349 on the N19. So yeah, the N19 runs from Clapham Junction to Finsbury Park via Battersea Bridge. Hang on, let me get the rest of them. So yeah, the rest of them. The N19 runs from Clapham Junction Station to Finsbury Park via Battersea Bridge, Hyde Park Corner, Tottenham Court Road, and Highbury and Islington. So we have an N prefix, and the difference between this and the regular 19 is the extension from Battersea Bridge South side to Clapham Junction. A substantial chunk of that extension is not a thing tonight because of the Falcon Road diversion, which I should also note that as I'm filming this on the 15th of August, I think, it is the last night of the Falcon Road diversion. I appear to have chosen the absolute worst night to do this plan, considering that I have the entire rest of the series planned out. I could have chosen any other plan to do, but no, I chose this one because I'm smart. Anyway, it's Battersea Bridge, so I'm going to get to the B-roll, because I like to film the Thames crossings. And for the second time this series, you join me on Streatham Street, which is one side street north of New Oxford Street at Tottenham Court Road. I've come here because it's less crowded, so I can film my bit. But yes, the N19, we got there in the end. We will not be defeated. And yeah, we're here. And I've got 13 minutes until my next bus, which is going to be the N242, which we're going to be getting over to Lower Clapton. Hopefully we'll get something interesting on it, because the 242 and N242 are being electrified, and being stagecoach, well, if you know, you know. Well, it wouldn't be an episode of By Night if multiple things didn't go wrong consecutively now, would it? So the time now is I can't see the time now? Why can't I see the time? I used to be able to see the time when I... Anyway, it's like 2:35 or something. And, yeah, I was meant to be on the N242 by now. But it got to 2:30, I was at the bus stop. Right, it was 2:29, I was at the bus stop. And the bus that I was meant to have on the N242, 12529, passed me with not in service showing on its blinds. Which, I don't know, there's something odd about that, because it passed the bus stop that it was meant to start from at its due departure time, but with not in service showing on its blinds. And I can't even look at bus times or LVF to see what's up, because tracking has died. Bus times has gone. Bus times is normally the first thing to go, so if bus times dies, I normally look at London Vehicle Finder, LVF, and that's also gone. So yeah, I have no idea what's happening. But yeah, I think I'm going to be ending up on the last N277 tonight. And you now join me on Stagecoach London's 12504 on the N242, which runs from Tottenham Court Road to Homerton Hospital via the City, Dalston and Clapham. So, we have an N prefix again, and the regular
N242 to Homerton Hospital.
The daytime 242 runs from Homerton Hospital through Clapton, Dalston and past Liverpool Street Station to Aldgate. So the N242 cuts it back from Aldgate to Liverpool Street and then instead extends it to Tottenham Court Road via the City. Now, this is the 3 AM departure from Tottenham Court Road instead of the 2:30, because the 2:30 passed me with not in service on its blinds, which is very odd. But we're on a bus now, and hopefully if nothing else goes wrong, we should be able to finish the night as intended. Fingers crossed.
Junction station.
And I've now made it to Lower Clapton, an hour behind, but we are here nonetheless. And we're about to get on the N253 over to Kentish Town. The N253 is a very weird route, but again, I will explain that more when we're on the bus. But yes, hope all things going well, we'll get the N253 over to Kentish. Then we're going to get the 214 down to Angel, and the N277 out to the Isle of Dogs as originally planned, just an hour later. The N277 really coming in clutch. What is that I can hear? Oh, it's a truck. I thought I could hear like the N253 ahead of the one I was planning to make off of this N242 running late. In which case, quick run back to the bus stop that's back there. But yeah, no, Lower Clapton seems like a fairly good area, I can't lie. To be fair, I mean, like, Hackney and this part of London has seen a massive glow up in the last few years. And I absolutely would live here. It's such a lovely looking part of town now. It's like, you know. Yeah, anyway, N253.
And we have with Kenya at the border. That's why Somalia, all of that's why they break Somalia. They break Somalia. Because my mother said to me, she used to come to London. Well, my mother said, she used to come to London to buy shoes and back. And I said, okay, mom.
And you now join me on Arriva London's LT525 on the N253 approaching Stamford Hill. So, as I've alluded to, the N253 is a very weird route that runs from Tottenham Court Road to Aldgate. Now, just taking those two endpoints, you might think this is a very short route, and why are we in Stamford Hill? Well, the 242 runs between Tottenham Court Road and Aldgate via Camden Town, Holloway, Manor House, Stamford Hill, Clapton, and Bethnal Green. It goes in a big loop throughout basically all of London's inner northeastern suburbs. So, yeah, obviously we have that N prefix, and in this case the N253 is actually two routes in one. It takes the daytime 253, which runs from Tottenham Court Road to Stamford Hill, and merges it with the daytime 254, which runs from Aldgate to Finsbury Park, or is it Holloway? I can't remember. But it takes those two routes, it merges them, turns them into a big loopy route around London's inner suburbs in the north and east. So it's certainly a novel way of doing that, and does come in quite handy for getting between suburbs in the north and east of London overnight. So, yes, back to the B-roll. So, I've now made it to Kentish Town, and I'm walking down a little alleyway past Cantelou's, I can't remember if it's Cantelou's Park or Cantelou's Gardens. But I'm walking between the Camden Road and the Kentish Town Road to get between the N253 and the 214. The reason why I'm doing this long walk rather than going into Camden and just, walking between two bus stops that are right next to each other is because I know this area very well. I lived in Kentish Town for about a year, and it's such a lovely place. And just walking through here is bringing back so many memories, because I used to get the night bus occasionally from Camden Road to various places, usually central. But I do remember getting the N29, or was either the N29 or the N279 from from Central up to a lovely stop with a lovely name called Toriano Avenue, back home from whatever adventure I was on. Now, as much as I know this area very well, I have forgotten the exact road layout, so I hope I'm going the right way down Oseney Crescent. But we'll see. If you've never been to Kentish Town, come to Kentish Town, have a look round during the daytime because there's not much lighting, because Kentish Town is absolutely lovely. And it has really good bus connections as well. From the Camden Road, there's the N29 and N279. From the Kentish Town Road, there's the N20. And then overnight service is also provided on the 88, 134 and 214. And of course, we've already done the 88, and we're going to do the 214 tonight, which leaves one overnight service left from Kentish Town in the form of the 134, which we're going to tackle a little bit later in the series. However much later there is left. But anywho, I'm going to walk through Kentish Town, make sure I don't get lost, because as much as I did live here, it has been a few years. So, I have now made it to Kentish Town Station. I did not get lost, I was going the right way. Here is the National Rail entrance to Kentish Town Station, which sees service from Thameslink, the slow stopping services that run to Sutton and St Albans, as well as a 24-hour service that either runs to St Albans or Bedford, I can't remember. And walking just a little bit down, you can see some lovely red tiling and TfL posters. This is Kentish Town Underground Station, which was recently refurbished to hopefully try and shed the dubious honour that Kentish Town Station had, and I can attest to, of having the least reliable ones of those on the entire network. Those escalators, I swear, they broke down, like one of them, and it was always the one that was normally the up escalator. I have no idea why. It was always the one that was normally the up escalator. Would break down like every couple weeks. It was... no. I got very adept at going down those stairs, and there's a lot of them because the Northern Line is infamously deep. But my bus, going from stop KB at Kentish Town Station, is in 9 minutes. So I'll see you on board. Go Ahead London's SE 93 214, which runs from Highgate Village to Moorgate to Finsbury Square. Route runs the 214 runs via Kentish Town, Camden Town, King's Cross, and Angel on its way down. And it uses these very rapid, albeit rattly, BYD D8UR Enviro 200 EVs. And yeah, I mean, I grew quite a fondness for this route. Oh look, there's a 134 behind us. Yeah, I grew a fondness for this route when I lived in Kentish Town, and it showed me the insanity that night timings are in London. The run down to Angel that we're doing tonight is timed for just 15 minutes, and the run down to King's Cross is timed for like 6 to 8 minutes, which is about as fast as the tube is during the day. So let's get to the beauty and have a look at that.
214 to Moorgate, Finsbury Square. Camden Town Station, Camden Street. Station. For your safety, use the cycle lane with caution. Station.
And after an even quicker than expected run on the 214, that run took just 13 minutes as opposed to the 15 that it was scheduled for, which I already thought was pretty quick. I have made it to Angel, which means I now have about 25 minutes to get over to White Lion Street to change onto the final bus of the episode, which will be the N277, which we get all the way to Crossharbour on the Isle of Dogs, out in East London. So, I'll see you on the N277. Which runs between Angel Station and Crossharbour via Highbury and Islington, Dalston, Hackney, and Mile End and Canary Wharf. Now, again, we have an N prefix, which means it's different to the regular 277. The difference lies in the extension from Dalston Junction via
Town Hall.
Thank you. Lies in the extension from Dalston Junction to Angel via Highbury and Islington, which, you know, I wouldn't have considered Angel to be a particularly useful place to terminate a night bus, but there is a lot going on in Angel, so it
Line 7 to Crossharbour, ASDA. Mile End Station. For your safety, please cross the cycle lane with caution. Westbury Station. West India Avenue. Road. East Ferry Road. Station.
And so, that's that. I have come to the very nice Millwall Park, just a little bit down the road from Crossharbour ASDA, where the N277 terminates. In fact, it's right across the road from Mudchute Station, to film my outro, because Millwall Park, it's very nice. The sun is right over there, isn't that fortuitous? So yes, Millwall Park, first of all, behind me, there, is a viaduct originally built for the East and West India Docks and Birmingham Junction Railway. Mouthful, but that's how these old railways were. Later called the North London Railway, and later, and then even later, used as the initial section of the DLR to carry it into the old station at Island Gardens, the new one of which is over there. So, let's not be backlit so much. Right. It's been a busy night, so let's recap. So we started off in Ladbroke Grove. Feels like forever ago now, because I got there before midnight. So I technically got there yesterday, and technically, because we left a bit early, I left there yesterday as well. And yeah, so we got the 295 down to Clapham Junction, which went swimmingly. Then I walked across to where the N19 is supposed to start, checked the timetable stack because of the closure at Falcon Road, and was reassured by the notice in the timetable stack that said the N19 would be serving its regular starting stop. So that didn't go well. Instead, I missed the one I was planning to catch because they were actually starting from Battersea. So I walked up to Battersea. It was only like a 10-minute walk. It wasn't that bad. But that still put us half an hour down pretty much from the off, which was not good. We got the N19. That went smooth enough. Into central London. Got off at Tottenham Court Road. In good time for the N242 that I had planned to make. Now, the N242 that I had planned to make was to be worked by 12529, one of Stagecoach London's Enviro 400 hybrid cities. And its departure time comes, and it rocks up to the stop showing not in service and does not stop. I still have no idea what happened there, and tracking was dead, so it's not like I can go back and have a look. So, another half hour lost, waiting for the next N242 to take us up to Lower Clapton, or Hackney. I don't know. I think it was Lower Clapton. It might be like the boundary between Lower Clapton and Hackney that I ended up going to. But from Lower Clapton, or Hackney, we got the N253 over to the eastern side of Kentish Town, and then I had the walk through the lovely residential streets of Kentish Town to get to Kentish Town proper, and got on the 214 from Kentish Town station down to Angel. And then from Angel, it was straight down here to the Isle of Dogs on the N277. Let's stop being so backlit. So, I mean, it was a eventful night, but we got all 6 routes done, including losing an hour. So, you know, if everything had gone to plan and there was more to do from here, this might have had the potential to be a 7-route episode. Like, if the 135 ran 24-hour, that could have, you know, everything going well, and the 135 running 24-hour, could have made this a 7-route episode. But there is nothing more to do from here, and we were an hour back. But 6 routes is still, you know, more than the series average, which is actually exactly 5 routes an episode. Although this episode has pushed that up. No doubt. So, as of episode 21, there are now 18 routes left in the London Night Bus network. So we are really not far from the end. So, I think all that's left to be said from the... Oh, hello, that's... What is that? Hold on, I need to take a picture of this. I'll do my outro. Okay, the thing I got distracted by was actually Emirates Airlines Dubai Expo livery A380. Yeah, there's a lot of air traffic happening right now because it is, you know, the morning in London, so you're getting all the flights coming in. But anywho, all that's left to be said from the very nice Millwall Park and the backdrop of the original section of the DLR is, I will see you on Monday from City Bus Manager on the South Coast, on Thursday from City Bus Manager once again up in West Scotland, and next week from By Night. Bye-bye.